It's time to think about the postseason. What can we tell so far? More former ECHL players and coaches are getting the NHL's call. Plus, Rapid City is on fire. The Rush, that is. We hear from their leading scorer. The time has come for another ECHL week.
Hi, welcome to ECHL Week. I'm Barry Schickling. Most of the teams in the ECHL have reached the midpoint of their regular season schedules. So let's take a look and see where everybody stands at this point and look at where all 14 teams are in terms of their playoff prospects.
We start with the Western Conference, which includes most of the once-and-future Mountain Division. And that's appropriate because what's often a serious battle in a normal year is the same this season. Fort Wayne, Wichita, and Allen, all of which are above 500 both at home and on the road, have put themselves in good stead for a playoff berth, especially the Comets and Americans. They both have at least 20 home games left and are well set up to be playing games in June. But it's that fourth and final playoff spot where the drama really builds. Both Kansas City and Rapid City, which struggled early in the season, have turned things around. As a result, entering this weekend, every team in this conference is over 500. Utah is 4 games above level, KC is 2, and Tulsa and Rapid are both 1 over even. In other words, one good week for your team to go along with one poor week for somebody else, and the order could change dramatically. Tulsa has the most home games left, but the Oilers are also a game under 500 on friendly ice. So if the 2019 Western Conference finalists can find a way to improve upon their BOK-centered performance, it might make the difference for a postseason spot. The regular season is scheduled to end on June 5th, when every team in the conference except Tulsa has another Western opponent. We wouldn't be surprised to see those final night's games have a bearing on both playoff eligibility and seedings. The Eastern Conference has some similarities. There's a group at the top, but here it's just 2 teams. Florida and Indy have been looking down at the rest of the East since early this season. The Everblades lost plenty of players early, many of them to call-ups. Those promotions have caught up with the Fuel more recently. Still, it looks as if these two have banked enough points to at least think about reserving June dates in their respective arenas. The next group, fighting for the final 2 playoff spots, includes Orlando, Greenville, and South Carolina. As an example, the Solar Bears have more than half of their remaining 36 games left versus just the Swamp Rabbits and Stingrays. By the time May rolls around, these battles could make it seem as if the postseason is starting early. Certainly the playoff intensity will be. For that same reason, don't yet count out Jacksonville. The Icemen are at 500 now, but with 21 games remaining against the 3 teams directly ahead of them in the standings, clearly Jax has the schedule component to jump up into a playoff spot. That leaves Wheeling, a team which has struggled all season. There's good news for the Nailers. They visited Florida and took down the ECHL's top team in their most decisive road win of the season on Wednesday night. While a work against the Nailers is that they have just 17 combined games left against the 4 teams directly above them in the standings. A playoff spot's in reach, but the Nail doesn't have much room for error. These reminders, standings this season are based on winning percentage, and the trading deadline is April 22nd. Depending upon the player movements leading up to that time, we're likely to get an indication of which teams think they have what it takes to make a lengthy playoff run, which this year involves 3 rounds of best-of-5 series, culminating with the awarding of the Kelly Cup in late June or early July.
Our news segment today takes a look at the relationship between the National Hockey League and a number of former ECHL personnel.
4 more ECHL alumni have recently made their NHL debuts. A former member of both Adirondack and South Carolina, goaltender Logan Thompson has played for the Vegas Golden Knights. Thompson appeared with the Thunder in 2018-19 and the following season for the Stingrays, when he was second in the ECHL in save percentage and 4th in both wins and goals against average. Defenseman Frederick Allard had a briefer stay in the ECHL. He appeared in 3 games with Norfolk during the 2017-18 season prior to making his first appearance with the Nashville Predators. Another brief stay in the ECHL was experienced by goalie Philip Gustafsson, who played in 2 games with Brampton 2 seasons ago. He made it to the NHL with Ottawa. And defenseman Jack Auchon played for the Boston Bruins in his NHL debut. You might remember him since his 2 ECHL games for Jacksonville came earlier this season on December 26th and 28th. He's one of 3 players to date who have appeared in both the ECHL and NHL this season. Behind the bench, former ECHL player and coach Don Granato has been named as interim head coach of the Buffalo Sabres. GENNARO recorded 90 points while playing in 103 games with the Columbus Chill in the early 90s. He then spent 3 seasons as a head coach in the ECHL, leading the Chill from 1997 through 99 and Peoria during the 1999-2000 season. He led the Rivermen to the 2000 Kelly Cup crown. Also joining the Buffalo coaching staff as assistants are a couple of ex-ECHL players. Matt Ellis made his pro debut with Toledo in 2002 and later played in more than 350 NHL games. Dan Girardi played 7 games with ECHL Charlotte during the 2005-06 season, on his way to more than 900 Major League games.
Highlights abound when ECHL Week continues.
First-time buyers make up 35% of U.S. home sales. New buyers can benefit early by working with an experienced, trusted real estate advisor. In the Pacific Northwest, Will Springer is your trusted advisor for buyers and sellers. For a free consultation or to find a real estate agent in your area of the country, contact Will today.
Since the Rapid City Rush joined the ECHL in 2014, there haven't been many team members who've been near the top of the league's scoring standings. That's not the case this year. Doing his part to keep the Rush as the hottest team in the ECHL is forward Tyler Coulter, who along with teammate Peter Quenville are both in the top 5 in league scoring.
Yeah, it's definitely something that's a nice little pat on the back for now. I mean, it's definitely picked up, especially just our team play. I mean, we've succumbed from a 250 win percentage, and now we just got back to 500 again. So things are definitely trending in the right direction. And I believe Peter Quenville is 1 point behind me and a line mate and a good friend. So it's nice to see a couple of us are starting to work our way up, and it's just all deriving from the team success as well.
The team got off to a slow start this season, but is now within striking distance of a playoff spot. Coulter says he and his teammates are enjoying this ride.
It's been really fun as of late. It's always more fun when you're winning, and especially our group. We've definitely been through the trials of this season, and we feel like it's finally our time to maybe go on a bit of a roll. And starting a couple weeks ago, we really seemed to find it, and continued success had been a problem this season. So we were nice to maybe string a couple more together than we had so far. And like you said, it's just been a lot of fun around our dressing room, and it's Coach Tatro is making sure that we've been working real hard in practice.
Special teams are making a big difference in the Rush's fortunes, according to Coulter, who gives credit to assistant coach Jeremy Gates.
He runs our penalty kill, and in the last little bit, our penalty kill has been incredible. I mean, I'm hopefully not jinxing it here, but we've been on quite the run. I don't know the exact numbers, but I think from its beginning of March, we've been on, I think, 1 goal against or something just crazy like that, which has been very, very good for our percentage. But Coach Tatro has been running the power play up front, and ever since, I'd say 10, 12 games ago, he moved our first line onto one unit, our second line onto another, and just kind of let the 2 lines go to work, and they play completely different styles.
This hot streak has allowed the team to think and talk about its playoff prospects.
Postseason's definitely talked about every single day, and it's kind of come down to, in these last little bit, we're playing one at a time, but like a playoff series. We block hopefully the most shots of any team in the league, and that's kind of what we're going off of. It's defense leads to offense, and so far in the last little bit it's working, but it's definitely playoff hockey in our building every single night. And I think definitely getting the hardest road schedule in the first half might have hurt us, but in the second half, hopefully we can take advantage of some rest.
It's time for our highlight segment. We call it the best of the week.
We start with Allen's Corey Mackin showing quick reactions and taking this rebound off the boards and scoring against Tulsa. Here's Wichita's MATTEO GENNARO with his figurative eye on the clock, making sure the puck enters the net just before the end of the period against Indy. Wheeling's Vladislav Michalchuk shows off amazing hand-eye coordination, tipping home this blast by Matt Foley for a goal against Wichita. And speaking of the Thunder and Nailers, they met for the first time ever last weekend, and 6 seconds into that first game, Wichita's Stefan Fournier and Wheeling's Garrett Hunt, the ECHL's all-time penalty minute leader who signed with the team in early March, showed they were both ready for action. Orlando's Chris LeBlanc puts this terrific pass right on the stick of teammate Nolan Valou, and it leads to a goal versus Jacksonville. Goaltender Dan Bacala of Indy is cool and controlled as he stops both a breakaway and a rebound shot attempt at Kansas City. And South Carolina's Alex Dubois made 75 saves last week while allowing just 2 goals. Here are a few of those stops in a win against Fort Wayne.
Shot saved by Dubois with the glove, and room on the far side, couldn't get it to the cage. Now a save Dubois, rebound goes wide. Chance to the net for Hawkins, and a glove save by Alex Dubois. Over to the far side, Gazzola threw it in front. It bounced off to the near side. Glove save by Dubois.
That wraps up another edition of ECHL Week. Thank you very much for watching. Don't forget, 2 weeks until our next show, which will debut on April 9th. But until then, make sure to keep up to date on everything that's going on throughout the ECHL by following all of our social media channels. Stay safe, take care.